We are upstairs at the Natural History Institute in Prescott, Arizona. I'm with Bob. Look, Bob loves nature more than you do. I'm just gonna say it. He loves nature more than anybody, and that's why you're here, because part of the mission here of this institute is to connect us people with nature. Why? Because it's good for us.
That's exactly right. The Natural History Institute is a nonprofit aimed at connecting people to nature for the well-being of humans and the rest of nature.
I'm going to state the obvious. We're all living inside of our phones. More of us are indoors. However, there are so many benefits to us just being out in nature. What are some of those?
Well, it's almost endless. Whenever you look at the research these days, it's coming out that children who do not have an opportunity to put their hands in dirt, their brains develop at a lesser rate. And so very simple things like that. We were born for nature. We were made for this. 200,000 years of evolution selects for a love of nature.
Yes.
And so our goal is to connect people to nature, and we try to do it in 3 different ways.
Okay.
We try to do it with a science program because we know that there's a big science side to nature.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we're up here in the lab.
And then there's also the art side. And so we like to say we pitch a big tent. Some people come to nature because of the beauty of nature.
Yeah.
And so we host 4...
Hence the photography exhibit now showing.
We host 4 contemporary shows a year focused on nature. And then we have a humanities side to what we do. And so we look at humans' relationship to nature. And so all of those things are aimed at making sure that people are connected to nature.
Well, speaking of nature, here these woodpeckers, you were explaining this to me. This is extraordinary. First of all, obviously they're beautiful with their little red fur on their heads, but in they store acorns in this log?
That's right. These are unusual birds. Acorn woodpeckers raise their young communally, and then they also store food.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
No way. So it takes a village. The woodpeckers look out for each other?
It takes a village. The woodpeckers look out for each other, and then they store their food in these little holes that they peck in the trees so that they have a larder to rely on during the winter months.
Here are some of the moths and the butterflies, the bees that are around this region. And this, it's called an ecoregion. Do I have that right?
An ecoregion, yep.
And this is a pretty extraordinary one we're in.
Very extraordinary one. It's extraordinary in a couple of ways. One way is that it comprises many different biotic communities. If you look at this map, you'll notice that there's a lot of different colors on the map. And the concentration of most colors is within this boundary. And this is the boundary of the Prescott Highlands ecoregion. Each one of these colors represents a biotic community, and that means a group of organisms that live together. And so there's all these different groups of organisms living together within this boundary. If you look at the yellow and the orange down there, that's the Sonoran Desert, and then up here the Colorado Plateau. But that which lies between is special in that it has characteristics of all these other surrounding ecoregions and different, because it has its own characteristic organisms in it. It's under research. There are very few organizations doing research or universities because there's not an R1 university in that boundary. And so we are doing the research right here at the Natural History Institute. Right here!
Bob, have you ever been feeling depressed, upset, anxious, and you go outside and your troubles dissipate?
Every time I go outside.
Every time. So listen, there's no copay. You just go right outside. And if you come here, I think Bob's, because he grew up with a love of nature, and he's trying to share that with all of the individuals and families that come here, and even literally preserving nature, because this is a snapshot of how this ecosystem was. And even, geneticists can research the flora and the fauna, the woodpeckers, the butterflies. Of course, there are snakes and creepy crawlies and everything all around. But before we let you go, you want people to know that this is not a museum.
No. What we like to say, whenever you hear the phrase natural history, the next word that people plug into that is museum. We are not a museum.
Institute.
We're the Natural History institute, and we think we are a do-seum. We
Okay.
want to do. We
wanna
want we
do.
want people to have the experience of nature because we know that's how people really connect.
Thank you. So if you guys want to do this non-museum, check out the activities and events. How can people find out what's
We're
happening?
online. Go to our website, and we also have a YouTube channel where all of the things that we do here are put up on our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Thank you.